Morning, morning. Welcome to Wake Up Real Estate. It's Tuesday. It's Texting Tuesday. I have a couple of different scripts and concepts that we're going to dig into here specifically today, more geared towards getting you into conversations with sellers or potential sellers or even former potential sellers, folks that had previously raised their hand saying that they were interested in selling. I'm going to provide some context and background as to why and how and so forth. I can't call it fitness and follow-up. I was pumping and prospecting this morning. So I was getting my workout in and prospecting for a client of mine. And we'll dig into that. We'll share all of that. And depending on if you're watching this live or after the fact, the scripts, every time we share these scripts and valuable stuff like that, we put it into the members area at Wake Up Real Estate. You can go and create a free account and get access to scripts and templates, among many other great free resources, including lead capture pages and all kinds of other goodies, completely free to create an account.
Yeah, the cheap hard money is here that we talked about yesterday. That's live now, so you guys can go grab that page if you want to promote it, or just grab Josh's video if you want to copy the YouTube video.
So if you missed yesterday's session, yesterday was our first day, both of us back live. I don't even know. It had been a while. We're going to be back live for the foreseeable future here, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern. And that was a 30-second video, teaser video about quote unquote cheap hard money. It is a follow-up to last week's mortgage info session that Ryan did with Jacqueline, which you can find the deep dive on that on the Wake Up Real Estate YouTube channel or on the site as well. And Ryan then turned that into a capture page that you can use to uncover opportunities in your market. And if you create video content like that, you will actually get people messaging you. So yesterday alone, I had 2 DMs and 1 phone call from that video, that little short video that I posted on Instagram, TikTok, as a YouTube short, on LinkedIn. And where else do I post those? I put it on my Google business page. What am I missing? I'm missing one of the big ones. Oh, Twitter. I don't really get anything from Twitter, but whatever. It takes like 5 seconds to upload it there once I have it scripted out. X. It's so confusing. So when you make a post on X, Xting. Okay. Tweeting and tweet. It just makes more. Anyway, that's an unnecessary rabbit hole. Here's my point. Make short videos and post them everywhere, and you will get conversations flowing. I had another one, and Ryan will share his social post of the day here in a minute, which I can't wait. I can't read it, but it's cracking me up already. I created a video about an off-market propertunity, Ryan's word. And I got a DM within minutes on Instagram, somebody wanting to buy in that town that I made that video about. Now, one cautionary tale before we get into Ryan's social post. I realized this morning that I had 3. So I didn't even know this existed, but on TikTok, you can DM, right? That part I knew. On TikTok, you can DM just like you can on other platforms. What I didn't realize is they have like a spam folder or a junk folder or a message request folder. I realized it this morning. I had three people like wanting to do business with me from like May and April that were just sitting there. I didn't even know it existed. So the cautionary tale is, if you're going to do this stuff, like figure out how the messaging works, because that's how people use the native platform, and you got to check in there because there may be business just hiding in there for you. All right. All that said, let's check out the social post of the day.
Yeah. So Charlotte, that's under lead capture tools. At the bottom of that, you'll see lead capture pages. Look for the hard money. And then the social post of the day, where are you? Old homes. So in some markets, this is more relevant than others, but the property list today is old Pinellas homes. To see a complete current list, built before 1920. So just pick an age range. A little pro tip, if you're using KV Core, I found that they were like, if I picked like older, if I didn't put a minimum age parameter, if I did like everything before 1920. Anybody who didn't have an age, it picked it up. So this will vary by IDX. So I just did 1900 to 1920, and I called it built before 1920. And then for some reason, I decided to pick a meme of some old ladies. It was funny.
Yeah, that's good.
To accompany
we have lots of old homes here in Central PA too, so that could be relevant. And if you don't, go ahead, Ryan. You were going.
I was going to say, just pick in Central PA. You probably pick like pre-Civil War, like pick like 1860 or something, 1880 or something. Yeah.
And if you don't have old homes, pick something: golf court homes, waterfront homes, homes built in the 50s. I don't know. Pick whatever. I saw a commercial for a TV show last night. I don't remember what it was called, but I was watching HGTV or whatever. No, Food Network. And they were like mimicking old to new. Like, I don't even know what the point was, but like that's retro is cool. Check out all of the homes here in Cumberland County built in the 60s. I don't know, like whatever. Pick whatever. People like checking that out. Real estate porn, as Ryan would refer to it as. So find something, and you're only limited by your creativity. Just play around with your IDX platform and figure it out, right?
This was a fun list, actually. It's probably a fun list wherever you are. Yeah.
I wonder what I've never tried searching like if I search like 1700 to 1875, but give me something to play around with this afternoon.
Pop up. Yep.
Yeah. All right. So Texting Tuesday. I want to set this up. I want to tee this up a little bit so it's more relevant. Maybe makes a connection with you. I was on a mastermind session yesterday afternoon, which, by the way, they loved you last week, Ryan. Joseph Limo, his mastermind.
Oh, good.
So I was on there, and it was just kind of like sometimes I just like doing like Q&A. So I was just like, what do you guys need help with? What do you have questions with? What's going on? And one woman said, how do I make sure that people aren't wasting my time? In other words, I've got this buyer coming to me. They're looking for a needle in the haystack, right? They're looking like for a really cheap house or whatever. Like, where do I draw the line on how much I should do and put into them? And so, and I'll tie this into the texting script today. So I said a couple of things, a couple of thoughts. Number one, you want to make sure that you have enough opportunity flow coming to you, that you're not desperate to work too hard for folks before they prove to you that they are ready, willing, and able. And so I related an example of a client that I'm working for right now that I was pumping and prospecting for this morning. This guy called me a couple of weeks ago off my Google business listing. It was a free organic phone call, and said he told me what he was looking for, etc. We had a great conversation. He said, there's one I would love to go look at. Okay. And I know, Ryan, you and I are on the same page on this. Like, some people are like, oh, I'll never show them a house unless they sign or whatever. I'm like, let's go look at the house, right? I use it as a buyer consultation, and we decide together. Do we mesh? Will it make sense to work together? So we go and look at this house. It is a complete hot mess. It was actually a foreclosure. There's not that many available right now in Central PA, but it was one of them. It's been on the market for like 500 days. It was a complete train wreck. I don't care. It gave me a spot to meet Don and see if we work together. He and I got along great. He said, I would like to work with you. I would like your help. This is what I'm looking for. So I set him up in the MLS. I start sending him properties, etc. We go a couple of days later, say, hey, can we go check this one out? We go and check it out, and we make an offer. And this one is actually a pre-foreclosure, and we couldn't make the numbers work based upon the seller's payoff amount. We were close, but just couldn't make it work. He wasn't willing to budge, and he shouldn't have. Like, he would have been overpaying for it if he met their number. Point is this, though. I now have rapport and relationship with Don, and Don has demonstrated to me he's ready, willing, and able to pull the trigger. Once someone has done that, now I'm like, all right, let's turn over every possible leaf to see if we can find Don a house. 2 reasons. Number one, that's real value and service to Don. And it's like, he's a cash buyer. And also, he's already said, I'm buying this. He's going through a divorce. I'm not saying his last name, but He's going through a divorce. He wants to buy this cash, and then in 2 or 3 years, he wants to make that a rental property and buy something with financing that's a little bit nicer and higher price range. Anyway, so like this is a client that I may have multiple opportunities with. So I want to demonstrate value and service to him, and now it allows me to also uncover other seller opportunities. Don's only going to buy one house right now, but if I do the legwork, if I turn over the leaves, I may uncover multiple selling opportunities that could turn into listings for me beyond that. So here's what I've been doing a couple of different things for him, but now I'm really going to pour gasoline on this week. And so this morning, what I did is I was emailing, calling, and texting a list of expired listings in there's basically 2 zip codes that he'd preferably like to be in. I pulled that list from Remine. Okay, I pulled that list from Remine, but you can pull it from PropStream, and we'll add to this document. I have a YouTube tutorial on how you can pull old expired listings from PropStream, which is a great service. You can get a free trial with PropStream at growwithjosh.com/PS, growwithjosh.com/PS for PropStream. But you can pull it with Remine. You can pull it with PropStream. You could go directly into your MLS. You could use RPR. I didn't even realize this, but you can use RPR to find expired listings. Okay.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
And I'll give credit where credit is due. Kathleen Militello on my team, my EXP team in Massachusetts. She actually shared that on one of our huddles a couple of months ago. Anyway, I pulled this list, and Remine will give you some phone numbers and emails. Some. And so I figured I'm just going to start with this, and I'm going to do a little grunt work this morning while I'm pumping and prospecting. So I manually emailed all of the emails on there. There was about 25 of them. Okay. And Ryan, you're going to have to stop eating whatever it is you're eating. And here was the email I sent them. Okay. Now, you know that both Ryan and I are huge proponents of technology and leverage and so forth. But sometimes just an old-fashioned one-to-one communication is the best route to go. And I figured I'm gonna put in some work. I'm just doing stuff in between sets anyway, so who cares? The subject line was for lowercase, all lowercase, FOR. Okay, all lowercase, FOR, Ryan. Okay. RE space RE colon. And the street address, 123 Main Street, whatever it is. Yeah, you can put whatever. The body of the message was as follows. Morning, Ryan. Would you consider selling your property at address to one of our clients, parentheses, his name is Don.
I'm sorry, that cracked me up.
Well, here's what I wanted to do. And you may or may not experience this to the same degree that we do here in central Pennsylvania. But the Northeast, we're very skeptical and cynical, etc. And so when I've sent things like this, I get a lot of skepticism. Do you actually have a buyer? Right? So I'm making this more realistic. The guy's name is Don. Like, the guy, if you say yes, I'm bringing Don into your house. Okay.
Why don't you get more specific?
You could do that as well. You could.
Did I guess? Does he have brown hair and a mustache? I don't know.
He doesn't, but he's got brown hair, but he doesn't have a mustache. Anyway, but here's what I could do though. I'm so glad you said that. He's a teacher locally, and we're struggling to find him a house. Okay, that personalizes it. Okay, I didn't even do this, but moving forward, I'll probably include that. And then I hit enter a couple of times and said, if you could please let me know either way. If you could please let me know either way. Thanks. Just T, capital T, HX dash Josh. And then I was sending this in my actual Gmail account. So it had like my full, real estate signature. And I I don't know exactly, somewhere between 25 and 30 of those.
Can you talk about why Gmail instead of KV Core?
Well, I'm hoping that it's improved deliverability, A, and B, I have the BombBomb Chrome extension set up in my Gmail, and the reason why that's relevant is I can see if they open my email with that. Even though I'm not putting a BombBomb video in it, I can go and look in my BombBomb Chrome extension for people that opened the email. Now,
okay.
Full transparency, I have not had anyone open or email. I got one or two notifications of people opening it. No one has replied yet, but we'll see. This is just the first. I have several layers that I'm going to go through to try and uncover opportunities.
How many did you send?
It was like 25 or 30, something like that. Yeah.
So this is really interesting, though. This is like a lot of times I think about listings and treating listings like as marketing funnels or projects. Mm-hmm. Like all of a sudden you take a massive amount of action on that listing with like an action plan, knowing it'll spit off more business. You're doing this from the buyer side, treating a buyer like a marketing
Why not?
project.
Right? He's demonstrated that he is willing to write a check. Well, let's get to work. It's the same commission. Yeah. Right? I mean, it's especially if these are off market, I may even try and get 3.5%. But I'm certainly going to ask for 3%. Yeah. And that's the same as on a listing, right? So, full disclaimer, we're not supposed to talk about commissions, whatever. Strike that from the record.
We all charge 10%. It's a fixed price.
Yeah, there we go. Anyway.
I'm totally kidding around. Nothing here represents.
Yes. Please don't take any of this part serious.
In Florida.
Yeah, please don't take any of this part serious. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the email I sent. And then there were again, so the Remind data, I just want to highlight this. The Remind data is just partial data. It's not fully skip trace. One of the reasons why I love PropStream, and again, you can get a free trial with PropStream at growwithjosh.com/PS, is I can build a list and I can skip trace it all at once. And whereas Remind, I had, I want to say, I don't know, 20% of the contacts had an email and maybe 15 or 20% had a phone number. When I skip trace, I get 90%. So anyway.
Josh, you know what we need to build you is a tool that's just a form where you fill this in. You fill in Don's name, you fill in a few variables, the address, and then it sends the email, but then it follows up in a day or two, and then it potentially sends a postcard.
Well, as I was doing this, there were a couple of things that were coming to mind that I wanted to get with you to see if we can operationalize or systemize this so that we can be doing it, you know, on a regular basis, because that's the consistency of doing this work is where you win, right? So anyway, I had not that many phone numbers because Remind will tell you who's on the DNC. So there was a fair amount of phone numbers, but most of them were on the DNC. So I'm going to say I had 15 or 20 phone numbers that weren't on the DNC. My my text script was pretty much the same. Morning, Ryan. Would you consider selling your property at blank address to one of our clients? His name is Don. LMK, thanks. LMK, thanks, Josh. Okay. I did actually call some of them because I could tell I know some of the local numbers when it's a landline. So the landlines I actually called, and my script was as follows. And I'm not Ryan, don't even try to get this because I'm going to talk real fast. I said, hey, Ryan, this is Josh with eXp Realty. I'm reaching out on behalf of my client. His name is Don. We're looking for a house for him in the Enola, Marysville area, and there's just very little inventory on the market. According to our records, you had previously tried to sell the property at, and I would give their actual address because this was a one-to-one phone call. Are you still at all open to considering offers on that property? If you could, let me know either way. So that was the voicemail script. One person answered. I got one live answer. The rest I got phone numbers. the live answer, the guy just wasn't interested. And honestly, I realized the one live answer, the expired listing was for a lease. It wasn't even trying to sell the property. It was an expired lease listing.
I wish Uber would create an API where you can just have an Uber driver go knock on the door and say that script.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Anyway, there you have it. So now, who else am I going to use this scripting with, right? Because it was a small bucket. It really was a small bucket. I don't remember how many records there were, but it was less than 100 records and far fewer than that of actual emails and phone numbers. So number one, I could take that entire list and send out a postcard or a letter using thanks.io. Message would be very similar. In fact, it would be essentially the same. I wouldn't say morning, but I would address it to them, and that some people call that the golden letter template. I could do that. Number two, I'll just tell you what I'm going to do. I am going to pull the absentee out of town owners from PropStream. I'm going to skip trace. I'm going to email, and I'm going to call or text those to see who's at least open to entertaining offers. Beyond that, if I still have no luck, I may pull a list where I'm excluding the ones that I've already got, right? So excluding the absentee out of town owners, but I'm matching it by the price range John is looking for and that they've owned it for 10 years or 15 years or more, right? Any number of layers that you can take to this. It's just a matter of how deep do you want to go for that particular client. And, it's work worth doing because of not only providing better service and value to that client, but also uncovering more listing opportunities potentially as well.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's so leveraged. You're prospecting for listings, but you're also putting on this show for the client. You're going to end up selling him a house, and then he's going to be blown. He's just going to be like telling all his friends and family about you because this guy worked his butt off. But the work you were doing was selfish too. You can have your cake and eat it too.
It's self-serving and also extremely valuable and service oriented, right? And I even tell if people are so I've done this work for some buyers and they're like, well, why would you do that? And I would say, well, number one, like, why would we just sit back and wait for the market to come to us? But number two, you're only going to buy one house. I'm going to talk to lots of people. I may end up getting more business from that, right? So just be very transparent. Like, listen, it's, we're both winning here. We can both win here. And like you said, Ryan, if you do this work for someone, when you do this work for someone, they're going to go out of their way to try and be an advocate for you and look and try and find ways to refer you more business. And as I said, Don he's got a plan. He's got a several-year plan. We're going to buy this one. We're going to turn it into a rental, and then we're going to buy another one. And who knows, at that point, he may want to buy another rental. So it could turn into 3, 4, 5 transaction opportunities. And, he's right in my backyard too. Like, he's literally, he's looking in Enola and Marysville, which are like, Enola's where I live and Marysville's what borders it. So, yeah, it all makes sense in my opinion. The tricky part is figuring out where to start and where to draw the line, and how to start, with money or time, right? Money or time, or what combination thereof. And I thought this morning it would be useful for me to just get in the trenches and invest some time. Remine, I get with Bright. So I pulled that data at no cost, and I'm just using Gmail and my phone number.
You could build a whole business around this if you spend an hour a day doing it.
Right.
You wouldn't need to do anything else ever if you were consistent. Yeah.
That is the magic pill. Consistency is the magic pill, no doubt. Charla, I don't know. So how is your response rate on your email campaign? So do you mean like a cold email campaign, like what I did this morning, which was really manual emailing? Or do you mean like that? That's too broad of a question. And honestly, I could give you a number and it doesn't matter because that's in my market, the audience that I'm so like, you got to do it and figure out what the response rate is for you. What I can tell you is that message, okay, the message in there is a message that people will respond to. Okay, that I know because I have proof of that. And then it's a matter of just figuring out the metrics for your market or your audience. Mark says, I need to send out sold cards around the area of the listing I sold. Let's do it.
Just listed, just sold is so close. I hope my partners aren't watching, but I could have went and learned to code and built this thing, and half the time it's ridiculous to watch it.
There's no way they're watching. They're
not watching. But it's awesome. It's very awesome. JustListedJustSold.com. It was all set up and working great, but we found like a tiny bug on the checkout page. That was like the button was sticking in some browsers, and they're fixing that now. So, Mark, if you need to send a Just Listed, Just Sold card, hit the concierge up and thanks. We can kind of do it manually, or you can be the very first one who ships this. We can probably get it out for you. But yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, so reach out. We'll take care of you one way or the other, Mark, and get that going for you, because that is structured the way Thanks builds the cards, whether you use the engine or one like I've shared in the past. You will get people responding.
Well,
you will get people scanning. You'll get people engaging.
That's the main twist with this product, is that it's built with a lot of lead capture in mind and trackability. So, let me just. I was going to show you the. We showed this last week. I don't need to make this commercial, but yeah, Just Listed, Just Sold will be ready really soon. This is what I was talking about, the trackability. Here you have all these different options for how people can reach you. Cool. Yeah, I know, Andrew. I know you've been waiting.
So Charla said this morning. So Charla, literally, it's 11:28. I sent those emails between 9:30 and 10 something. I've had a few open it. I have had no replies as of yet. So, and I may even be over exaggerating. It might have only been 20 total. It might not even been 25 to 30. I'll go back and I should have better information and data tomorrow or as the week goes on for that. But the takeaway is, most of the time you have to do a lot more than you think to get the result that you're trying to get. Most of the time.
I like this.
4 comment about for scans on my Just Sold postcard out of only 35.
Just curious if that was a thanks card. And one note about that, you are going to see, it depends on the listing a lot and the time of year, but you will see some Just Listed cards. We see like they'll get like a 10% scan rate, and some will be crickets. It just has to do with the nature of the listing, the time of the week. I put the link there, Mark, for you. The site is live, but full disclosure, if you try this right now, I don't know if they fixed that bug yet. So you might get through the whole process and then like the order button won't work, which would be really annoying.
It would be. Yeah.
It might work now though.
But just reach out. And if you can't figure anything else out, just use the little widget on the wakeup.realestate site and said, can someone please help me with my Just Sold postcard. All right. Schedule for the rest of the week. Number 1, tomorrow we're going to have Jordan on. We're going to be talking some mortgage and financing stuff, and specifically creative ways you can either help clients or even for yourself buy your first real estate investment property. So different programs, products, or even strategies for buying your first investment property. And not only are we going to share that information, but then, create some ideas, marketing material, maybe some video content, etc., where you can use that to attract potential clients around that idea. Thursday, we have a special guest, Ryan, who is, what are you eating?
I was going to say it for the end. I have a plug. It's Walmart's Omega-3 Trail Mix.
Why is that plug? Why are you plugging great value from Walmart?
Go to Walmart. They need the business. They don't have enough business. I'm intermittent fasting, and I left this here last night, and I'm dying. I'm hungry. We were talking too much.
Cole loves that trail mix. Cole.
It's really good.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway,
well,
sorry.
Thursday
Thursday
we'll
we have a
have
guest.
Greg Head from Agent Hub 360. I just really like what they're doing over there. Greg's going to talk about for Tech Tip Thursday. Literally, what Agent Hub does is they tie different tech solutions together into like a cohesive thing, but they also have like some cool stuff around actually running your business as a business. So Greg's going to come and talk about that.
And then Friday, I'm going to share another text script that I used late last week with my seller, mostly like my home value leads and Z buyer seller leads late last week, that has created several. I've had several phone conversations. I've said several in-person conversations set, and this is incredibly valuable. I have several that I know when they're ready to sell in the future, so I can disposition when to specifically follow up with them so that I can get that business as they get closer to being ready to openly market the property. So I'm going to share that script, and we'll share some other follow-up stuff, I'm sure, on Friday as well. Tomorrow at 1 Eastern, our mastermind workshop, And I mean this sincerely, like, come ready to actually do work. I will share how we're setting appointments, and then you can go and do that work, and we can all stay and sort of hang out. And then as questions and things come up, we can address them and mastermind answers to that. And I'll tease it. I'll tee it up like this. Mike, yesterday between from noon yesterday to 10 a.m. this morning, in one of our partners, right in their KV Core account, Mike scheduled 16 appointments from 1,000 contacts. 16 appointments from 1,000 contacts, and we're going to workshop around how he did that, and then you go and do it as well. So we can get you some appointments and get some opportunity coming into your pipeline in what is, generally speaking, kind of a dead time during the year, which Ryan shared a little bit on that. Not that we're just even guessing about that. There's actual empirical data that says, it's kind of a dead period. It's a slower time of the year, real estate and mortgage wise.
But if you need a pick me up, head to Walmart for the great value omega-3 trail mix. It's about $8.99 or $6.99 or something.
And who knows, with any luck, Walmart will be the sponsor for the podcast, which, if you're listening on there, please subscribe, rate, and review. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share if you're watching this on YouTube. The subscriber count is still growing slowly but surely. We're trying to get to 1,000. Help us, please. Share with others in your office, whether it be your physical office or your virtual office or your brokerage throughout the country or the world. Share the love, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Same time, same place.
See you guys.